Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, available on DAZN. What's happening, Sonny?
Sorry, I was just putting your R back in. That's falling off, just to let you know. The R in Stomping Ground up here.
Stomping
It's falling
Ground.
off. I just straightened up, but it is loose. It's falling off.
Thank you, mate. You are a good friend.
Well, you're going to have the Stomping Gown soon.
Will they do better interviews in the Stomping Ground?
Who knows?
Probably.
Probably. Not hard, is
Not
it?
hard. Mate, I haven't seen you for a while. What's been happening in the life of Sonny Edwards?
Been busy with boxing. Busy being a dad. Had surgery. Had my little recovery process from that. Missed the first show all year. I had 100. You know at school when you have 100% attendance? I was 100% attendance for the fights that I managed, for the commentary with MATCHROOM, and I had to miss my first show, which was Conway Leard. That was my first absence.
Considering how much you've been in and around boxing, in gyms, fighting yourself, now doing commentary and managing, despite the fact you are pretty much everywhere, was you a little bit pissed at missing that?
Yeah. In my head, I thought I could have this surgery, yeah, and I was saying to him, if I can get down, I'll try and get down. I couldn't get out of bed, let alone get down on work. But yeah, it was a bit disappointing. It seemed a very good card as well.
I did speak to George Leard and he said if only Sonny was commentating tonight, it would have been even sweeter.
Right.
He looked good, didn't he, by the way? That was a good performance.
He did, and I can't lie. I'm not going to, lie. I thought he was up against it, against Kieran. Physically, experience, the sort of momentum Kieran had been coming on and the fights he'd been involved in. I just thought that when they maybe sort of mixed and both started letting go, that Kieran's shots might have a bit more of an impact, and maybe his conditioning and experience and maturity might really help him in that fight. But I thought George found a fantastic rhythm very early on and did everything that he needed to do. I know it ended kind of with an injury, but I think that Kieran was well beat before that, and it probably was affecting him before we could really gather it. But I thought Leard was extremely good and extremely mature over a decent amount of rounds against a good level fighter. And yeah, I think he impressed a lot of people, because a lot of people were, I'm not going to say writing him off, because everyone knew he was good, but I don't know, they maybe looked at the Ozazi performance a little bit and thinking, well, Kieran's a bit bigger, stronger, more accomplished, achieved more, champion, etc., etc. So maybe he's going to give him a handful, but he didn't. And, I think Kieran will come again. Big props to Kieran, a friend of mine. But I thought Leard was really, really good on it.
It was good, and it was good to hear Eddie say, actually, you know what, I thought he was good, but he's actually perhaps better than I thought he originally was. Someone who was good tonight, after just a little slip up early doors, Lyndon Arthur, you could see that once he got back to doing what he done best, that his fundamentals are just so good, but you could see that it was someone who you could tell mixed it at that higher level. And the second half of the fight, I thought he was really strong. Yeah,
I think the first round, I thought he did well. Close-ish round, but I thought Lyndon did well in it. Lyndon sometimes gets caught just sort of just firming shots, ready to look for his own, rather than either tying up or getting out of the way. He'll just sort of block up his arms and take a few, and because he's not getting hurt. But in those moments, you're losing the round. Do you know what I mean? And I know that Pat and we worked on minimizing those moments, keeping him disciplined with the little steps. So he's constantly refreshing his legs, constantly slightly adjusting, and then when they come, he's ready to throw. And yeah, everyone around, some had him 3 up, some had him 4 up, some had him 5 up by the end. Yeah, I think he went 1-0 down by doing what I always tell him not to do, which is stepping in, trying to land clean shots. And he got put down, but he got up. And then I thought he came out the next round and did well. I thought he came straight out. Like, Lyndon's a very, very tough individual. He doesn't take a shot and then his heart starts going one way. If anything, it sort of revs him up and gets him going. He's probably too relaxed at times. He's probably too nonchalant at times. But, yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I thought the jab was winning him the rounds clearly, and then the right hands were stinging and hurting Ray. And there was times when he was letting 3, 4, 5 punch combinations go just sharp and crisp. And he looked tonight at levels that I haven't really seen him operating, I think, in most of his fights. I think he was more composed. I think he was more relaxed with his body. Not mind. Usually he's just trying to react and do the best thing possible, but I think he knew what he was wanting to do, and he did it. Yeah, okay. He made a mistake that he knew he shouldn't be making, and he got punished worse than I think he thought was going to happen in that fight. And it kind of woke him up a bit. But from that respect of Brad's punch power, especially early on, was earned, and he didn't really take too much after that, I don't think. Obviously, there were some good shots coming here and there through Brad, but there was probably like 4 or 5 rounds where he didn't really land a clean, good shot, and he was getting caught with clean, good shots and getting out-jabbed in the middle. So I thought Lyndon won clear. The 114, I don't know how. 115, 113, 115, 112, sorry, I can see because of a knockdown and a few close rounds and a few good Brad Ray rounds, obviously, but yeah, I thought we was very confident in our corner. And everyone around us, from the promoters to the commentators to the ones on radio as well, was all looking at me saying, yeah, he's miles up, and I thought so too.
I mean, he's the European champion now, he's won the Commonwealth, he's won the IBO world title, he's headlined behind closed doors before, which many people ain't done. He's fought in Saudi, Dimitri Bivol. He's done quite a lot. There's a lot more left to do. Like you said you saw levels that you hadn't seen from him before tonight. What do you want to see? What's in the Lyndon Arthur checklist for you? Something that you want to see Lyndon do next? Because look, he's a name, he's a face, he's got something people want. There's big possibilities. He's a big name.
It just depends on the division. Like, they fought for the European title at the same weight that Zach and Boazzi are fighting for right now. And okay, they were chief support, but on the night tonight, that was definitely a bigger fight. Okay, we're in Manchester, so it helps, but there was a lot more people in there than there is now. Probably about 30-40% of the crowd left straight after that fight. They fought for a better title, in my opinion, European over WBA International. So it just really depends what's there. The thing with Lyndon, he'll fight anyone. Will fight anyone, but a nice rest now, not think about anything, obviously boxing related really, until the new year. Look after himself, make sure he gets recovered as best as possible, because especially when you're getting older, these long, quite grueling fights that require a lot of energy.
I guess the camps as well.
Yeah, they take a lot out of you. So, but tremendously proud. I've never shared no secret of being a close friend, a supporter, or whatever to Lyndon. He's like a brother to me. He has been for a very, very long time. And yeah, do you know them nights? When boxing does it right? Obviously for you, like when boxing goes right for you, it's hard to beat that. We started off Brad Casey, learned all the mistakes from his first fight, going out trying to home run him, didn't get the stoppage. He listened, he learnt, he came straight in there and put the boy away straight away. Bad Brad Casey, gave him a little dig on the floor, but he was just throwing, do you know what I mean? And he's another handful at cruiserweight. That boy is only 20 years old, 6'3", can bang, can work, is a fit kid, and he learnt a lot of lessons already from his first to his second. That shows the great stamp of a fight for the future. Liam Cameron as well, shout out to Liam. Got through today. If I'm being perfectly honest, I thought it was a very close fight. Maybe leaning, just how I was watching it in the change room, maybe leaning towards Troy Jones, but I spoke to even Troy after, and them fights you can't complain. Do you know what I mean? It was constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was 6-4. It was 6-4. Yeah, but even like Troy said to me out of his own mouth, like, it's not robbery, it's just a close fight. I thought I won by a round or two, but I didn't. And do you know what? Do you know when boxing is just involving two proper, solid, just human beings? That's what Troy Jones and Liam Cameron are, and no matter how that chopped up, you'd just be happy for both of them. To be honest, they're really good lads, and it was a good fight. Yeah, I think it's been a decent little card tonight.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said when boxing does it right, it's a good feeling. Obviously, we're at a Queensberry show. Behind the scenes, so you do commentary of MATCHROOM and DAZN. You spent time obviously as a Queensberry fighter. Frosty behind the scenes, or all love?
Oh, remember I won my world title with Frank. You know he's not here today. This has never been.
Do you speak to Frank? Is it just kind of when you see?
Anytime I see him, yeah. But at the same time, like any good fighter that really values his career, your conversation should be minimal with the promoter. The reason you
Could
get
you
a
be friends with
manager,
a promoter at the time when you're a fighter?
it's impossible because you can like each other, you can have respect for each other, but if you get too close, then you know a lot can happen from that closeness. Yeah, of course. And if your manager's going to do the best job for you, if he's got to keep picking up the conversation that you've already had with the promoter and sort of make sense of it, then he can't do a good job. Because you've agreed to a fight, agreed to a purse, because the promoter sort of spun it straight on you, and it's done. Like, so, me, I've always been professional. I've never tried getting too close to the promoters, but always very, very respectful, because you owe them a lot. But at the same time, you have to understand it's a balancing act. Because the business that we are in, if they can take a pound out of that pile, which is your pile of pounds, and pull it somewhere else into another pile that needs to go, or their own pile of pounds, then they make 100% gratification of that pound. If they take £1 off me and they keep it for themselves, they've made a pound. If they pay me an extra pound, they've lost a pound. That's just how the business works. So you have to get what you're worth. You have to get what you're valued. You have to be ready to walk away from a deal if you don't think it's right for you. But you got to play the game. And Frank Warren has been nothing but supportive of me. He's been nothing but complimentary. I won my first world title, my only world title. I won it with Frank, and obviously I come back to the shows and I get looked after, and I've got a long relationship standing with Leard as well, who helped me get into the management game with helping me and assisting me with Thomas Asomba, who was my first fighter that I looked after, and now we're all on DAZN anyway. It don't even matter. But I'm contracted, and I'm loyal to MATCHROOM when it comes to media stuff. But I like everyone in boxing. There's not many people I don't like.
So obviously, when I speak to you, it's clear to see from interviews just kind of the wealth of knowledge you've obtained from doing everything in boxing, like I mentioned at the start, fighting, and now the management stuff. Do you think there's a lot for you still to learn in boxing?
100%. I still know... I've managed fighters for nearly 5 years, 4 years, and I still wouldn't feel 100% confident doing it 100% on my own. I work and value team, loyalty, respect, integrity, and I work very closely, as everyone knows. It's no secret. Anto Fitzpatrick is my manager from day one till day end of my professional career competing, and since the first few fighters that I was working with Lee, every fighter else that I've worked with has been with Anto. Obviously, Lee took a much more senior boxing role with Queensberry, and it kind of took away his time. But I value the team and the genuine love, and the relation we've got is built off years of no bullshit. Does that make sense? There's never been I thought you said that, but this happened, or you said it was this, but it was that, or...
You've had that with a lot of other people.
Everyone in boxing. Everyone in boxing. Actually, Lyndon, no, never had that with.
Lyndon and Anto.
Lyndon and Anto are a select two of a very, very, very small group. And there's people that I've got so much love for. I'm not going to sit and start naming. But there's people that I completely have, even now, so much respect, top level. But I can still remember that time when you did this and I didn't like it. And you didn't tell me this, or you did this behind my back, and you did what you wanted, not what I needed you to do.
So you remember them stuff?
I remember every single time. I won't hold them. And it's not even that. So because if I want to be a problem, I can be a problem. I just deal with people accordingly. I'm not going to see your agenda and be completely disrespected by the fact that you're putting your own agenda in front of me. At the end of the day, I'm at this show tonight for my own agenda. Manager fight, my best friend's fighting. And then the next show I'll go to, I'll probably be commentating. That's my agenda again. Now, I love boxing, so my agenda links closely to what I do. I like commentating, so I call it as truthful as I can. I like managing and building a fighter, so I put my absolute all in. Why? Because I was a fighter. I had the best manager in the game, in my genuine opinion. I've never seen anyone that can lace his boots in Anto Fitzpatrick. And I will champion that, and not only champion that, the standard that he set for me and how good I was managed through every single step of my career, I owe it to my fighters to give that same sort of standard, and that's what I do. So I'm not doing things that my agenda feels like I've got to come and do anything sly, because I'm fighter side. I might work for MATCHROOM, but when it comes to certain conversations, I don't have them. Why? Because now that's a clash of interest. I work on building the fighter, developing the fighter, their brand, their confidence on interviews, their storylines, their kit, helping with gloves, sponsors, helping, like, I do all the stuff that I'm best at, jump in their fucking corner and shout my head off, tell them to move their feet and reset and don't go too much and don't load up and don't try and get too greedy, don't stay there too long. Like, that's where I put mine, looking at opponents, matchmaking, etc. I double down on those things, looking at the next talent. You know what I mean? I try and just apply myself in the most genuine way possibly where I can sleep at night. And my record of boxing is very, very clean, I think. I would challenge anyone to what lie did Sonny tell me? And I've said that before. There's been times when I've been in big arguments and I go, one person here, tell me one lie that I've told you in 10 years of knowing. One lie. Whole room go quiet. Because I don't lie. We're not when it's boxing. Maybe if it's like a girl and she's asking me a question I don't want to tell her, I might lie. I'm being truthfully honest.
If a girl when it comes to stumble across a Stomping Ground video, she's going, he's a fucking bullshit.
Yeah, my girl don't watch these. I fucking hope. But you hear what I'm saying? Like, I don't lie when it comes to, but I don't need to.
I'm not in management conversations, but I can vouch for that people would never say.
So don't lie. I'll tell you something uncomfortable. I won't have to take it away. Who am I scared of standing in front of me that my voice has to change, divert to something else that isn't the truth just because I am what? Scared? I'm not scared. Do you know what I mean? I'm not scared. There's no one that's going to make me feel that fear. I'm not saying I can not get beaten up, but I've been beaten up in front of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I can go through that. They've given it to? Batsy won. Parker won. Wow. Calling a robbery on the sidelines for Boatsy against Parker. I don't know. I've been here.
First five, it was a very, very, very strong Zach Parker 5.
Yeah. And I'm surprised because I really expected Josh to look good in this fight.
Final one. How do you see the rest of the boxing year and the landscape at the moment? We've got a couple fights being touted, maybe falling through.
The biggest card, and I don't want to hear anything. No, I don't want to hear argue with yourself.
17th of December.
17th of December. Giorgio Visioli squares up against Joe Howarth. Me versus Dave Allen. The Titans kind of are clashing. And normally,
that's making people feel old.
Normally we're in the same.
Versus Dave Allen on the other
side. Management, because normally we're in the same corner. Like, I've been, he comes. Dave Allen, the type of man he is, yeah. He fought, lost, took his fighter to go get his license the next day, yeah. And then a week or however 2 weeks later, has travelled all the way from where he's from, Doncaster, to Manchester, and then done the corner of Brad Casey in a 4-rounder at 5 o'clock. That's the sort of man Dave Allen is, and nothing but respect and appreciation to him. I think me and him might be able to help do something with this fight, because Giorgio and Joe, they're both quite direct and straight and kind of short with their responses. They're not too, grabby of attentions, but they're going to get goaded. They're the main event. They've never been a main event before. They've never had to sell a card before. Now they do. So I think it's a great way to do it, and I think they're both fantastic fighters. Obviously, I'm way favouring Giorgio because I think he's special. I don't think Joe's special, but yeah, it'll be good.
Midweek boxing in December.
Midweek boxing in December.
You cannot go wrong with that. I'm actually going to end by being a bit of a cunt, but you're a good person to put on the spot. What is one controversial?
It's not hard for you to be a cunt, is it?
At the moment,
Oscar Davis is a cunt.
It might make people go, "Oh, really?"
Controversial boxing.
You're a good thinker on a feet. Most people would be like, "Oh, you should have told me that you was going to ask."
A controversial boxing opinion. A controversial box. Wait, go on. So repeat that again.
Just a controversial boxing opinion you've got that might make people go, really? Basically, Simon's giving me a headline. No, I'm joking.
Innit? That's hard, because it's like, where do I want a controversy to go?
Just
you know what I mean?
Edwards speechless.
No, but I don't know what would you even find controversial nowadays? Like, in boxing, is there anything? Yeah, is anything controversial? Is it just selling a fight? Like, if I ever get in trouble on camera, the first thing I do is when anyone says anything off camera is, hey, I'm selling a fight. You know what I mean? And it kind of deads everything. It's like, when you say that, you can't get sued. You know what I mean? So, hey, boxers, remember that answer. No matter what you say, as soon as you come out, I'm selling a fight. You know what I mean? That's maybe my controversial take, that there is no controversial takes in boxing, because it's the Wild West, mate. If you knew what goes on behind the scenes, it's the Wild West. It really is. Trying to get through the boys.
You're the man.
I appreciate it.